Hello and welcome back to My Own Worst Enemy. We are getting ready to start turn number 12 of Don't Tread on Me. And one quick update, and only one quick update, so we're not doing too bad this time. But an eagle-eyed viewer noticed that this Loyalist horse unit, this gold band horse unit, should have come out back in turn, I believe it was turn 8, where we had, I think it was turn 8. But anyway, it was Lord Germain's, well, we can find out, can't we? It was Lord Germain's new plan. And, let's see. Yeah, turn 8. So, Lord Germain's plan, there's several units that come out as a result of that news event, and there was actually 2 loyalist units mentioned initially in that news item, and for some reason skipped right over this horse unit. So he's been sitting up here unused since turn 8, and that's, I'm sure, made things a lot worse for me than what they probably should have been, but I am going to go ahead and pull him down now. This horse unit that should have been out in turn 8 is now going to come down here. We will make him available. And if you guys are wondering what this loyalist unit is doing sitting up here, this will not come out. This was this is a unit that would come out through the Benedict Arnold news event, depending on what you roll, the die roll. We did not roll the result that would have given us this loyalist unit. So we'll never see this unit. He's just going to sit there out of play for the rest of the game. So that's why that's up there. So with that said, let's go ahead and start this and see what happens. We're going to move our turn marker to turn 12 and look at our news events. And so turn 12, this is a hurricane season. There's no news event, so no news. No news is good news, I hope. It's a New York City siege again. That will affect Washington's placement. Target is still Carolina, and we get 12 pounds. So we currently have 0 pounds, so we're going to move that up to 12 pounds. And I think that's going to do it for the force adjustment phase. We've received our money and our news instructions. So now we go to Smuggler's Phase and Privateers. So we do have a Privateer. We have 1. And so we're going to grab these 2 units and pull them out for placement. So we will roll our 2d6. And let's do it one at a time. We'll see where the Privateer... well, no, let's do it both at the same time because, the Privateer has priority. So let's see. We're going to roll a 1 and 4. So 1 and 4 sea zones. The Privateer will go to the lower. He'll come up here. And the Smuggler comes down to sea zone 4. We'll put him there. Clear that. Everything clear over here. Yeah, it looks like everything's reset. So that is... I'm going to get the rule book out of here too while I'm thinking about it. But that is our place Smuggler's Phase. Okay, so now we go to the Naval Phase. Rebase the French fleet. So again, this is, if it's hurricane season, which it is, turn 12, the French fleet will go to Boston. So, of course, it's out there because the French did intervene, but we're going to put them back in Boston. They don't want to be in the Caribbean during hurricane season. I can't blame them for that. And now we go to attack the smugglers. And, of course, shadow the French fleet if we so choose. We are missing Parker, so we only have 3 of our ships that we can use to stop these smugglers. And let's take a quick look here. The board is not looking all that good to the north of us. It is possible. I could try to take back New England maybe if I wanted to. I don't think New York would be a good idea. There's a lot of stuff going on in the Hudson Valley there, and Washington's there. And of course, in Pennsylvania, we still have the French fleet sitting in this lower numbered county here with our lone loyalists sitting in Quaker County. And we have this COS unit down in Carolina, so not too worried about that for right now. We've got a lot of forces in Carolina. So let's see. What do we want to do? Well, we have 12 pounds, and it would cost us 2, 3, 4 of those to bring all these out. And I'm going to do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's going to let me use these. And where do I want to go? So this is probably a good idea. I'm gonna take Hal and put him up here, because remember, C-Zone 1 is connecting to our target state of Carolina this turn, so we definitely want one up there. And I could double up just in case. Don't think I'm going to do it though. I think, you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to gamble. We're going to attack both of these well, do I want to do that though? See, if I no, hold on a minute here. This is that I was thinking knock out these smugglers, maybe try to take back New England, but the danger there is actually if I kind of just like I've been doing, well, like I did earlier in the game, if I just kind of forego New England and not worry about it too much and just let those smugglers sit there, then I could focus more about what's going on down here. I do have this one smuggler in Pennsylvania, and I don't really need any more, yeah, so I don't want any more Continentals coming in here if possible. Yeah. And, it also, if you have these two smugglers, if you roll in future turns, should we survive to future turns? Well, let's see, it would keep, you can't place any more smugglers in it, just be put back into the Caribbean. Let's just do this. I'm going to try to take out this privateer. We'll try to at least focus on these 4 lower states here. Although, like I said, New York is really, really almost a total loss from my point of view right now. Decisions. Well, let's worry about it when the time comes. I said shadow the French fleet. And that's the other thing. Instead of going after this privateer, I could choose to shadow the French fleet. We didn't do that last turn, and it hurt. We did have the French intervene, leading to this mess in Pennsylvania. And of course, if I shadow the French fleet, then I don't have to pay that pound. We'll get a pound back over here. And I don't think... Nah, I am not going to shadow the French fleet. I'm probably going to regret this. But let's go into the British Crown phase. Winter. No, we had winter last turn, so no winter this turn. Amnesty. So amnesty is when you have 5 or more units in the prisoner war box, and neither side has that. So we skip the amnesty this turn and go into paroles. Paroles is when you have equal number of units that you can swap. Well, not swap, but you can parole at a prison. There are no rebel units in here, so we can't do that. So that's not going to do us any good. And that'll take us to unit purchase. Hessians must be purchased first. We only have 1 unit left in the British player force pool. And if that Loyalist horse unit that should have come out a couple turns ago. So I'm definitely going to get him out of there. I'm going to buy him. He's a gold band horse. And the gold band horse unit costs £2 according to the Royal Gazette. So that will take us down to 6. Bring this horse unit out. And now the big question is where to put him. So I was convinced that I wouldn't have any more horse units the rest of this game, but I do. Remember, the horse unit is powerful because of the horse reaction that we get to take. He can fight more than one battle in a state. And tempted to put him into Carolina. But I tell you what, there's a lot of British units there already. And we do have to get that Cause unit out of there. We still have that. What else is up here with the French army? It's like we've got a Continental and a Cause. There's really, if that French army weren't sitting there, and even if, what have we got strength point wise? We got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got 10 strength points sitting in this wilderness. And this is 4, not nearly, well, 4 plus the 2 would be 6. I could move him up there. It's still, don't like those odds. I could certainly march some more units into there, try to, here I go again. Moving right along. So, okay, I forgot to attack with my frigates again. So let's leave that unit there. We paid for it. Let's go ahead and resolve these attacks before I get too far. So Hal is going to fire at this privateer. So the privateer needs a 2 or less to fire back at Hal to stop him. He does. Not good. So Hal comes back to in harbor. This privateer survived, and we have another privateer. So he's going to take a shot at our ship here before we can fire, and he misses. So now we've got to get a 3 or less to take out that privateer. And we don't. So this comes back to in harbor. And finally down here in Delaware Bay, just a smuggler, so he doesn't get to shoot. We do. 3 or less. And he misses. Total. So nothing. It's probably why I tried to skip ahead. I didn't want to see those results. There you go. All right. So back to where we were. We're trying to find a place for this horse unit. And as I was saying, the horse unit with this loyalist unit, that would be 6 against 10. But I could bring in some more of these units here to try to clear out Pennsylvania. And of course, that's going to cost us, we can force march. Yeah, I don't know. And remember, we've got to hold Carolina and 2 other states. And I'm thinking it would have been an easier decision had the smuggler not survived. I'm thinking it's tempting to go in here and try to knock out what's in Pennsylvania. The other option is New York. We got a strength 2 in the wilderness here, and this is a town, so there's 4 in that town. We have more Continentals coming in, though. Whew. I really would like to keep that Liberty Bell from rising this turn. What to do? What to do? Lots and lots of units to choose from down here. And the French are in about the worst place they can be, strength point wise. Do I go for Pennsylvania? Like I said, there's 1 Continental coming in Pennsylvania. There are 2 coming into New York, so there'll be 5 in there at some point. Now we saw this privateer, so there will be another Continental coming into Cape Fear, Carolina, which is our current target state. Um, what to do? This is farmland. He's strength 2 in the farmland. I'm hoping we can, with what we have in here, we can take this guy out. Like I said, we do have a continental coming in, but this is a tough one. I still think our best option is Pennsylvania. And if we put this horse unit in here, and then we're going to be able to, we will be able to move and deploy these units. And I'm going to check the rule book because I think it was, 1 pound to, where's my rule book? I think it's 1 pound to move those units, to redeploy them. So unit movement, like any county at no cost. And the forced march, of course, is where we can move them at the risk of losing the unit, though, and I don't like that. And so that's what this unit movement was, the within the state, and then the forced marches, cross state lines. But we could lose the unit, so I feel like I am really in a bad position here. So I need to take one other state at minimum, and I'm just having a hard time even coming up with a plan to take that one other state while holding on to Carolina and Virginia. Virginia is not looking, they don't have a continental coming in, but there's always the campaign phase that we're all familiar with by now, painfully familiar with by now. Wow. The French army is really, really the killer here. It's just not good. So like I said, we're at 4 strength points here. We're at 2 here. So this loyalist unit I could move the horse unit up here. I see these continentals are coming in though. Wow. This is not good. So this is wilderness up here. So I could try to march. Let's see what we got hidden in here. So I could try to march units from Carolina to Pennsylvania. Again, like I said, I risk losing them, which would be even more painful at this point in the game. What's hurting also is no one was released from the prisoner of war box. That's hurting me too. I could use those units right about now. As it is, I've got this, and I would have even had this if I had pulled him out when I was supposed to. Probably would have been in even more trouble. Although I might not be in this position had I pulled him out when I was supposed to. Well, let's see. Do I just try to take out these units in Pennsylvania? And like I said, even if I do, New York or Pennsylvania, even if I do, there's still a chance of continentals coming in. New England, yeah, see, they're coming in all those, they're reinforcing the states that I need the most. Funny how that works out. Like I said, I'm going to write off New York. It's either New England or Pennsylvania. And I honestly, with the way these smugglers are laid out in the French army, it's equally painful as to which one to try to attack. But I think I'm going to have to try to take back Pennsylvania. That would put this guy into here. So that's our purchase and deployment phase. I think. We're going to take a final look at what I want to do. I think so. So now we go to that unit movement phase I was talking about. And this is where we can rearrange our units within the state. So we definitely want to move some down here to Tidewater because we have this cause unit that's still giving us trouble. So that's farmland. So we definitely want the this loyalist. He's got a 3 in farmland. This loyalist has a 3 in farmland. And this Hessian unit has a 3. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to have to be careful here because, like I said, we still have a Continental coming in through this North Atlantic sea zone feeding into Carolina. We have Wilderness here. I'm going to put this guy back down into... Let's split these because they're both good in Wilderness. This guy's good in... these two are good in towns. This Hessian, let's stack him with his fellow unit because they are good in Wilderness. Oops, knocked on my little unit thingies over here. He's good in Wilderness. And these are potential forced march units. Well, see... If I do the forced marching, well, okay, let's go ahead and just rearrange our units first, and then we'll figure. Well, now I got to figure this out now because I really want this battle to go my way. There's really just with the way this is laid out. This is really bad. So we have a Continental coming in here, and we have a Continental coming in here. So ideally, I would want to place units in all of these counties of both of these states. Like I have here in Virginia. I hate to move anybody out of Virginia. Like I said, there's no smuggler here, and so in theory, well, not theory, it's a fact that they will not be coming in through the reinforcement phase. They could come into Virginia, though, through the campaign phase, but that's not quite as scary. I say that. A major campaign it is. So, 10-4 right now, so we definitely have to do something about that. I could bring this Hessian up here, so now we're already at 7 to their 10. That leaves us 2 in here. I am still tempted to put somebody up here. Oh, I can't do that. What am I doing? I can't do that. I'm getting ahead of myself here. But that's probably what I want to do. And I said I didn't want to force march. I honestly don't think I have any choice here. Yeah. Let me look at the force march again. I think it's 1 to 5, but yeah. So we survived the force march on a roll of 1 through 5, which sounds pretty good. But we've already lost 1 unit that way, at least that I can remember. What to do? So I still think, okay, let's say potentially he's going to be forced march to Pennsylvania. So that's going to leave a strength 2 in the Wilderness here, strength 3 over here. We got a 6 going against a 2 over here. Tempted to put one of these guys either in here or up here. All right, so again, I can move within the state at no cost. I do think this guy's going to have to come up here. Oh, if only they were in... yeah. We got these 3s sitting in this town. Got a 2 and a 3, and these are only 1 in the wilderness though. So if I force march these 2 up here, it's risky. And even if they get there, they're not going to do a heck of a lot. It would get me from 6 to 8, which is a little better. Whereas this guy, where it's 6 plus his 3 would be 9, provided he survives. I could also force march one or both of these up to around Philadelphia. That would give us a little more protection up there in Pennsylvania. We're looking okay here. Yeah. Well, you know, let's just go ahead and force march the Hessians and see if they can survive and get up here into Pennsylvania. And that'll help just based on what happens, that'll help me decide what to do with these guys. So he's going to force march to Pennsylvania. The Lee unit is up here. That would only apply to the horse unit anyway, so yeah, he's kind of out of it anyway. So on a roll of 1 through 5, he survives. And he survives, so that's good. So we force march this unit up to here. And so now we are at 9 to their 10. I really would love to have one more unit up there to kind of help tilt the balance in our favor. I think we're okay here. Like I said, we're at 6 going against a strength of 2. That should be enough, in theory. I could put another one of these in there. And I may do that if... I just don't think it's worth risking sending them up there. I don't really want to put them in here either because they're only strength 1s in the wilderness. Could reinforce Charlestown here with one of these guys. I mean, I could put this one in Tidewater, this one in Charlestown. That would help a little bit more for Tidewater and potentially anything coming in here. Or I could try force marching him up to the wilderness. So we have that 9 versus 10. It would at least put us on the 100% column. If he survives. I really need these units in the prisoner war box up here. Well, I am going to... I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna try to force march another unit to Pennsylvania to help with this stack. That'll at least give me even odds up there. So let's see if he survives. We're gonna force march him up there. He does not survive. There again is why I don't like force marching. So he goes back into our force pool. And now I'm down a unit. So I could try it again. Or I could try to beef up one of these other counties here in Carolina. It would have to be Charlestown or Tidewater. No risk in going into Tidewater. Yeah. Would really like to be on the 100% column here. All right. Let's do it. Let's try it. I'm going to try force marching him up to Pennsylvania. Probably going to regret this, but here we go. Oh. So he survives. So this guy is coming up to Pennsylvania. All right. So that, I believe, is going to take us through force march. No, British horse action. I'm not going to move that horse unit. We need him right where he's at. Place George Washington in the state with the most British player units. And of course, we don't do this because it's a it is a New York City siege turn, so he has to go to New York. So he's going to stay right there, which will take us to our first battle phase, our all-important first battle phase. And we don't check for French intervention because the French are already sitting there, and it's not a blue die county. So our first battle is this hugely important battle up here. So let's see what happens. There's the French army, and here's this Continental and this Kaj unit. Put the battle marker in here. And here are our brave forces, our brave soldiers, risking everything. Okay, so we are in Pennsylvania, which is at a loyalty of 1. So we'll put that there. I don't think there's anything else that's nothing in the American leadership box. There are no modifiers for this militia call, so it's just a straight roll on this 1 table. Let's clear that and see what we get. Hope for a 6. Not a 2. So a 2 is a 0 and 3, so we get... Oh, that's bad. That is bad. So we're attacking. It's in the wilderness. I think I said we had 10, but let's see. 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so we're at 10. And they are at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're at 13 because of that bad roll on the militia call. So we don't get to go on the 100% column at all like I wanted to. And we are attacking. So let's see what happens when we attack. 6. That is about the best we could hope for. So defender retreats with a possibility of pursuit. Where are we? We are in... Pennsylvania here. So let's go look at our retreat priorities. Make sure we get this right. If British players are retreating, no. Otherwise, retreat to a county containing only friendly units. So there's no friendly units here. Otherwise, retreat to an empty county. Only the rebels can do this. So I'm guessing they would retreat to the around Philadelphia area. And this is a question I had last time. I don't... I confused myself last time with the retreats because, you know, you had the priority direction. Units will always retreat 1 county in the highest priority direction that's left for the rebel units and right for British units. So the county entered by retreating forces is called the refuge county. So this is where I got confused last time. They're in the wilderness, so if they can't go left, you know, I would think that would mean they would scatter. But I mean, if you look at the priority, though, it says retreat to a county containing only friendly units. So, see, I still think... Still think they're going to retreat to around Philadelphia. Again, I only hesitate because they're moving right to do this, and the rules state that they units will always retreat one county in the highest priority direction. If two counties have the same priority, yeah, that's what it is. So maybe that's where I'm confusing myself. It's when they call out two counties have the same priority, then that's when they go left. Rebel units always go left, and then the British units always go right. So they're going to go into around Philadelphia. So we're going to reset this, and we did win that battle. Clear that, clear that. We did win that battle. There was a Hessian unit, which would have actually, again, I missed that, but that would have that would not have changed anything. They still have gotten 3 to our nothing, but you got to be careful there because that was a -1 to our roll. But we did win that battle, so Pennsylvania's loyalty will increase to 2. And I'm going to hold here for a second because these guys are retreating now to this around Philadelphia area. So we can now pursue them. And let's see what that would mean. So we would be the attackers if we pursue them in that town. And let's see. We can pursue with any or all of our forces that just won the battle. The new battle is fought, and the rebels will be defending. So let's take a look and see. I'm sure we probably want to anyway. Well, who knows? Let's see. So if it's going to be a new battle is going to be fought in around Philadelphia, that would be, they would have 8, 10, 11 plus whatever they roll now on this 2 column. And we're not looking as good in, we are not looking as good in around Philadelphia. We would have 2, 4, 9, 10 plus whatever we roll. Wow, this is, ordinarily I would never do this, but I mean, we really have got to take, we're going to have to take another state if we expect to keep that Liberty Bell from moving. But if we go into there, it is a loyalist stronghold, plus the Hessians, so it'd be kind of another wash with the, well, not another wash, but it would be a no modifier to our call for militia, but I don't like the odds, because the odds are they're going to get another 2 or 3 out of the deal. So like I said, they're already at 11. They could have 13, 14, maybe even going into battle, and we could only have, at most, we could hope for 1 militia unit to show up, so that we would have 4, 6, 8, 9. And if I don't pursue them and I leave them in there, then we've got a mess in Pennsylvania. So wow, I don't know. This is a tough call again. I really want them out of Pennsylvania, but at the same time, I just don't know if we can. I just don't know if we can do it. Yeah. Probably should have put even more thought into how I did this. But let's see. Now that we're stuck. So if we go into there, the best we could hope for is a 9 strength points to their 13, was it? That's 10, 11, 12, 13, possibly 14. I mean, so that would put us on the, I mean, yeah, that would, at best we're going to be on this 50% column. I mean, we got a good chance of retreating or being eliminated even. You know what? I'm not going to follow him in there. I'm not going to do it. Now, this is probably a dumb move again, but So they retreated to around Philadelphia. And I'm gonna put these units here. They chose not to pursue. I don't know if that's the right thing to do or not, but we're gonna find out. So that did not work out like I'd hoped. So that's the Pennsylvania, and then nothing in Virginia. But we have another battle down here in Carolina. So we bring out the Francis Marion Cause unit, and we bring out our units. And the Tidewater. So we're in farmland. Their loyalty in Carolina is 0. Jeez. We have a Hessian involved in this battle, so there will be a -1 to the modifier to the roll, and no other modifier. So it's -1. And really, honestly, it's not good no matter what. So 2 -1. So they're going to get 3 again to our none. All right, so we're attacking in farmland. So that is 9. We are attacking at 9. They are defending at 3 plus 2 is 5. Will put us on the 150% column. And let's please, let's see what we can do here. Let's see if we can knock out this Francis Marion unit. And we get a 5. Defender retreats again with the possibility of pursuit. So this defender was in Tidewater. I don't think there's really anywhere you can go, but let's again check our priority here. Retreat to a county containing only friendly units. Can't do that. Retreat to a county, an empty county. There's no empty counties in Carolina. Retreat to a county containing units of both sides. Well, no, that's not a possibility here. And that's it. Now, he's going to be eliminated. There's really nowhere for him to go. So we will take the Patriot and put him up here in the prisoner of war box. We did win this battle in Carolina, so they're now up to 1. And we now hold the target state for now. For now. And we'll clear this stuff. All right, so I think that's the British, not the British, but the first battle phase, I believe, is complete. So let's see, no more battles, no more battles, no more battles. Looks that way to me. So we move on to the Place Rebels phase. Committees of safety first. So this is where we we roll for a state and see where a cause unit will go. Here's our cause unit. How many cause units are in here? Oh, we got a stack of cause units. It's only 1 unless we roll the target state, and then I think 2 come out. So let's just see what we get. So we're going to roll to see which state this cause unit, well, let's pull one out. Which state this cause unit will go to. 5. Carolina. He's really seriously. I mean, come on. We just cleared the cause units out of Carolina. So, okay, so, oops. I don't think there's something about if the, yeah, they were just saying if the Francis Marion cause unit is in the force pool, he has to go to Carolina, but he's not. He's in jail, so he stays right where he's at, and that cause unit goes in. So now we place the Continental Armies. And we will start with Sea Zone 1. And there is a privateer there. So remember that this is connecting to Carolina. So there is a... this will feed into Carolina. So let's see where he gets placed. He goes into county number 2. So this Continental is now in the wilderness. Now we go to Sea Zone 2. There are 2 more Continentals coming out. This first one will go into the lower county, County 1. And the next one will go into County 4. So those Continentals are spreading out all over the place in New York. Go down to Sea Zone 3. And this Continental... I mean, maybe... Oh, no, there's one. The guy getting close to running out. So this Continental will go to County number 5. So they're stacking up here. That takes us to Delaware Bay. And let's see. Oh, there's another Continental in there. So this one will go to County 2. I think that's where... Yeah, so he's going to go into where this mass already exists. Let's put that French army on top just so I know that it's there. And nothing in Sea Zone 5, 6, come back around to 1. So that's that is the Police Rebels phase. And now we go into the second battle phase. So starting in New England, no battles. None in New York, none in Pennsylvania, none in Virginia, but there is another one in Carolina. So this Continental against this Loyalist unit in the wilderness here, with the Rebels being the attacker this time. So Carolina now is at 1. And we have no Hessians, no Indian units. Did I not place this guy's unit? Hold on, let's place this guy's unit. He might be fighting too. No, he goes to 4. So we should have put him in here. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled battle. So... no modifiers to this militia call. And it's on the 1 line here. So we get a 4. That is, they only get 2 only. And they attack. So let's see. They are attacking at 2 plus 1 is 3. We are defending at 3. Yeah, 3 with, yeah, so it's just on the 100% column here. And they attack. And they get a 4, which is an exchange. So this is where the units, the side with the lowest number of strength points loses. So this includes militia. So who had the lowest number? Was it us? I hope not. But I think it was. So they had, what were we in? I said wilderness. They had 2 plus 2 is 4. And we had 3. Yep. So we lose. And we lose. It was 3 strength points that we lost. So they must eliminate 3 strength points. And they can't do it. They can use these, but it's not enough. And so one of their units must remain on the field of battle. So they do. They won that battle. They stay there. This is not good. This is not good at all. So they stay here. They won the battle. So that was Carolina again. Their loyalty drops back down to 0. We clear that. We clear this. And that is that. That did not work out good at all. And that was what I was afraid of. That's why I was hemming and hawing for so long in that deployment phase. It's just I could see this coming. I knew it was going to happen. Maybe not quite this bad, but I knew it was going to happen. So yeah, we move along to the next battle then. Let's hope we can hold on to Piedmont down here. So this Kaz unit is going to attack this Hessian unit. Carolina is back to 0. This is a stronghold, so it's +1, but it's -1 because there's Hessians involved, so it's 0. No modifier to the militia call. And let's see who shows up on that 0 column, 0 line. 6. That's good for us. We at least get 1 and they get 2. Best we could have hoped for. So they are attacking us though. So it is, the attacker has 2 plus, well, let's see, I said wilderness. So it's 2 plus 1 is 3. We are defending at 2 plus 1 is 3. So I believe that's 100%. And they attack. And they roll a 2. Attacker retreats with the possibility of pursuit. Well, that's good. Back to our retreat party. Here, I think they're going to go back into join those Continentals, but let's see. Otherwise, retreat. Yeah, retreat to a county containing only friendly units. So they're going to retreat into here, and so we yeah, they retreat. We can pursue. So we won the battle. So that Carolina's loyalty bounces back up to 1 again. Well, we'll just move it if we have to if we decide the battle. So again, the battle was in Piedmont, so they retreated into here. So we can think about pursuing again, and I'm going to agonize over this. So yeah. So, okay, they're in wilderness. They are looking at a total strength points of 4. We have our Hessian unit, which if he moves in there, he's going to have 2 strength points. And then we're going to have to call for militia. And we're going to get -1 to the roll because we have a Hessian unit. And so that's going to hurt. And if Carolina is at 1, best we could hope for at 1 is, we get 1, they get 2. So if they had 2, now you're talking about 6 versus 2. Oh boy. Not good. Not good at all. So, if we go in, if they had 6 and we had 2, that would put us, I think, on the less than 50% column if we're the attackers. So we stand a good chance of losing that unit. I'm not going to pursue. I am not going to pursue. So that is that. Okay, well, no more battles, right? We have Carolina now has rebel units in it. Virginia's still clear. Pennsylvania still has those rebel units, and not looking good. Not a good turn. And this is not good going into conduct the rebel campaigns phase. So conduct rebel campaigns. Let's go right along. And let me get the rulebook out. And so this is where we rolled our 2 dice again and see what happens, where these either major or minor campaigns are going to take place. We roll a 1 and a 1. which is another, yet another major campaign. So, yeah, so this is a major campaign in New England. So let's mark New England, and I can tell right now this isn't going to be good because there's a lot of there's a lot of Continentals up there anyway, and New England is empty of all British forces, so this is going to turn into a planned operation, I'm sure. So things might go from bad to worse here. So first thing we do is there are reinforcements. So remember that you get one continental army and you get one cause unit, and normally they would go to the higher and lower number states, but in this case the major campaign state will get both of them. So all right, so there are plenty of cause units left, so that's not an issue. So they're going to come into here, and continental unit is going to, and we may have emptied this out. Let's turn this back on and let's look inside here. Yeah, there's no more continental armies. So that's actually some good news for us. I say that's good news. So it is good news actually. So let's clear this. This cause unit will be placed according to a priority. So in the lowest numbered rebel occupied county, which is Connecticut coast, in the lowest number rebel occupied county, then move any rebel forces in higher number counties in that state to that county. So, and this is, yeah, so all of these units will come into Connecticut coast. And I got a feeling this whole stack's going to fall over. The physics of Tabletop Simulator. So, okay, so that's our reinforcements placed. And I proceed to major campaign. If the state experiences a major campaign, place reinforcements and check to see if it is augmented by yeah, so we do this. So state experiences a major campaign, see if it is augmented. And the augmentation is if a major campaign occurs in one state, all other states, not Quebec, are checked to see if they can provide extended support. Every state, including the target state, containing only rebel forces, moves all of its rebel units into its own critical county. And this is where they'll move that critical county and leave 2 units behind. So if we look at, well, the only place this can happen is New York. So they're already in the critical county, so there's no problem there. So they are going to, they're going to leave 2 behind. And I think, if there are more than 2 rebel, I'm looking at who gets left behind. Randomly picked continentals. So randomly picked continentals. So how many continentals do we have in here? The first question. Lots. So let's see if we can randomly pick 2 of these. So here's how we'll do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7. Okay, 1, 2. Let's just go down the line. We'll say on a 1, 2, or 3, they stay, and 4, 5, 6 they don't. So 1, 2, or 3 for this guy. So he's going to go to join the major campaign. Next guy, he's going to go join the major campaign. There's probably an easier way of doing this, but I was assuming I would get some low. They can't all go up and join the major campaign. But they sure are trying to do that. So let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do this. That's not going to work. Well, he made it. So now we're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is who's staying behind. So 5 is staying behind. And 3. So these two are staying behind. And all of these guys, we're going to have to make some room up here. Because we got a stack of doom forming. Just about every continental army that can be out on the board is in Connecticut coast right now. So, okay, so there's your extended support. Yep, move them to the state, leave 2 of them behind. We did that. And they join the rebel stack in the major campaign state. And we go to fight a major campaign. So, if both sides, not hardly, but if both units are in the state, rebels attack the British using the attack priority. Okay, so I'm looking because there's nobody in here, and I think. Yeah, it just says if the state has no British player units, place all rebel units in the critical county. And then proceed to planned operation against the target state. 11-3 is the rule if necessary. Well, I don't think it's necessary. But so I'm looking. So we did our extended support. And now we go to planned operations. So here we go, planned operations. So if there are no British player units there to begin with, place all of the state's rebels in the critical county. We did that. If the campaign state is not the target state, the rebels conduct a planned operation if they possess 2 or more rebels, which they clearly do. These forces will reinforce. Now, so basically, what's happening here is about the worst thing that's going to happen. So they're going to they are going. Actually, I said they were in the critical county here, but they're not. So actually, first these would all move to Rhode Island, the critical county, and now they're going to do the planned operation into Carolina. So again, it's going to be randomly selected continentals to be left behind. And there's so many here. Let's do this again. Let's on a 1, 2, or 3, they'll get left behind. Starting with this guy, he's gonna go. I'm not rolling any 1, 2, or 3. This guy's gonna stay behind. This guy's gonna go. And this guy's going to stay behind. So these units, all of these units will now come down to the current target state, which is Carolina. And so they get placed the same way as the order of priority. So in the lowest numbered rebel occupied county, well, that is going to be this county. So we're going to have one of the, I would say one of the worst stacks we've ever seen, but at this point, I think we've seen, I don't know though, we may not have seen a stack this bad. This is huge. So they're going to go into that county, because that was the lowest numbered rebel occupied county, and then move any other ones into that county, but there's none to move in there. And so they will now, what do they do now? Where'd it go? So make sure we're getting all this right, because there's a lot going on here. And it's not like I haven't screwed this up before. So follow the same protocol, and okay, it says reinforcements. We did that. If the French army is in any state or in Boston, now immediately place it in the planned operations stack, regardless of its current location. Well, we finally got that French army out of Pennsylvania. It's now in Carolina. But wait, there's more. Next, place George Washington in the target state's American leadership box, if there is one. Well, unfortunately, there's not. And then immediately launch another major campaign in the target state, following the same attack protocol and stop conditions. So, this is where they will... Where do we go? This is where they attack. Where's our priority? Here's our okay. So here's our priority. Attack British units already in the same county. Well, there's none in there. Then when they go left, attack any of the nearest British forces to the left. So they're already in the lower number county, so that's taken care of. So now we go to attack the nearest British forces to the right. So they're going to march through Carolina now, and this is going to be bad. So we're coming into Piedmont. So this entire stack, I can tell you right now, we're going to be way over the 400% column, but let's see where we're at. And I would not want to be that Hessian unit right now. Would not want to be the Hessian unit. Frankly, I really don't want to be me right now. All right, so this Hessian has got to fend off all these Continentals, the French army, and these committees of safety. Can he do it? Well, so remember, this is starting in Piedmont. This is a stronghold, yay, but there is a Hessian unit there, so the militia call will be a wash. And we are in Carolina, which is at 1 now. So we roll and see who else shows up for the rebels, basically. And we get a 1. So this is at 3, and we get none. And this is a wilderness county. So, just for giggles, let's see. 2, 4, 6, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 27, 30. I do not think we've had a 30 yet in strength points for an attacker. And defending in wilderness, right? And defending in wilderness, we have 2. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be 15. Yeah, so it would be way out here if the chart went that far, but so it's on the 400% column. And they are attacking. And they roll a 3, defender eliminated. So these little Hessians go back into the prisoner of war box. And they win the battle in Piedmont in Carolina. So Carolina's loyalty goes back down to 0. And I'm just going to move this back a little bit. And we'll clear that. I should leave that there because we're going to need that again. So they continue their march. They're going to march into Tidewater now. So these guys now come out. And there's a battle in Tidewater. So Carolina is now at 0, right? We just moved it down to 0. And there's a -1 to this roll because we have Hessians involved. So let's see what we get for our militia call. Well, 6 minus 1 is 5, so it's not quite as bad as it could have been, I guess. So they get 2. And they're still attacking. So 2, 4, 10, 12, 14, 16. Wait a second. we're in farmland now, right? So it'll be a little different. Not much different. So it's 2, 4, 11, 13, 16, 18, 19, 21, 23, 24, 26, 31. It's even more than last time. So that's 31. We are defending at 3, 6, 9. I got a feeling that's still a very large number. Well, they're down on the 300% column now, so that's not quite as bad as last time. And they attack. And remember, we just... Oh, defender eliminated. We didn't want that. So these guys get eliminated. Now they're all in the prisoner war box. And they win another battle, but that can't drop anymore. This gets cleared. And they continue their march. So they're going to come into Charlestown now. So that stack is now in Charlestown. So we are in, it's a stronghold, but this time there's no Hessian, so we actually get a +1 to our militia call this time. So that's not bad. So let's see what we get. It's a 3, so that doesn't do us any good. This is now at 3 to our nothing. We are now in a town. We would have rolled for French intervention here, but they're already there, so we don't do that again. In a town, so 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 17, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 27, plus 3 is 30 again. And we are defending at 3, 6. So I got a feeling that's still a very big number. And it is. So back to the 400% column. They attack. And it's defender eliminated again. So that prisoner of war box is now loaded with British soldiers. Yikes. So clear that. Clear that. And they end up in Charlestown. So let's start stacking again. This is bad news because I don't think we have a chance in hell of taking Carolina back now. Let's hold the French army out because I want to know where they're located. And so I have to say, you know, I was worried about you guys not seeing a major campaign, but you have seen far, far too many major campaigns, and you're seeing, again, just how difficult this game is. This usually happens early on instead of where it's happening for me now. So it is not an easy game by any stretch of the imagination. Of course, Carolinas can't be reduced. They're at 0. And that is going to end the planned operation. Double check. And yeah, okay, so yeah, if completely successful, again, the boy, are you in trouble? Which we are. Place the remaining rebels in the critical county of the target state. So I think they're already in the critical county. They are. So they will stay there. And we can go ahead and move this down to here. And did I forget to leave behind? Oh, no, I didn't. I was like, whoa, I think I forgot to leave behind. I didn't. So those were left behind there. The good news is, The good news is New York and New England aren't nearly as bad as they used to look. The bad news is Carolina is is a monstrosity now. It is full of rebel units. So that concludes the conduct rebel campaigns phase. And now you can see why that's my least favorite phase of the game. All right, logistics phase. Trading with the enemy. So I actually have money left over here from, because I couldn't buy any units. So I want to be careful though, because I do want to leave myself some money for next turn to get all these units out of the prisoner war box, at least the ones I can. So the only place I would consider trading with the enemy here. So let's look. We're in turn 12. We have one more turn of Carolina being the target state. Then it's going to be Virginia. We still hold Virginia. So that's some good news. I don't know if it's... Let's see, where is Virginia? They're at 7. And it's the only place I can raise loyalty. And I can do it, we have 3 lobster units. I could do it, I could spend 3 pounds and raise it by 3, so that would put us up to 10. Well, like I said, I kind of want to keep some money back for many things, really. Buying units and getting rid of smugglers and all kinds of crazy things. I am going to raise... I'm going to spend 1 pound and raise Virginia's loyalty just by 1. Just for the heck of it. And now we come down to naval transport, and this is where we can move. Any British player unit can be moved to any county in any state if we pay 1 pound, and we can't abandon the state. So don't know where they would go. I'm going to leave it just as it is. I'm not going to do any naval transporting, so that's naval reset. Move all Royal Navy units. Okay, so basically we're taking all these guys and putting them back out to sea, where we hope they will stay. Reconvene Congress. Don't have to worry about that. Liberty Phase. Don't have to about that. Determine state control and move the Liberty Bell. Well, we know we do not hold the target state, so this is all for naught. So the Liberty Bell is going to rise because they have the target state, and I only have 1 state anyway. So this Liberty Bell is now at 6. It does rise. And now we perform our state loyalty modifications. And I think... yeah, I've got my modifiers here. So, New England is controlled by the rebels, so that's going to drop by 1. And New York is controlled by the rebels and George Washington, and Congress is there, so that's going to drop by 1, 2, 3, but they can only go down to 1. And Pennsylvania is... controlled by both sides, but there is a Hessian unit there, so it's going to go down by 1. Virginia. Well, it's controlled by us, so that's +1. But there's a -1 because there's a Hessian unit there, so that's 0. But Jefferson is there, so there's another one, -1. So it's a total of -1. So Virginia is going to come back down. So basically by paying that pound, I kind of held it steady, which is good. Then we come to Carolina, which is, can't go any lower, but it is rebel controlled. Don't worry about Quebec anymore. Check for victory or defeat. So we are at, well, let's look at this, because now it's getting serious. So if this were turn 14 or higher, and we get that up to where it says Lord North resigns. If we're up here and the Liberty Bell is at 7 or lower, we could concede, but we're not there yet. So if the Liberty marker reaches 9 or higher, then we lose. So we're creeping up towards 9 rapidly. So all those turns where we held it down helped a lot, but as you can see, it's still, even with all that success we had early in the game, we're starting to struggle. as we get towards the end of the game here. So I think it can turn at any moment. So we're not defeated yet. We are not defeated yet. So random events phase. Let's take this off. This is where we roll 3d6 now. And we get, what do we get? It looks like, okay, 6. So that's 10, 13. 13, at least it's not 9. Oh, 13 is here. Frigates diverted. Well, we know what that means. It's a strength 3 who goes to in harbor. Could be worse. It could have been a 4. So let's grab this guy. He's now in harbor. War in the Caribbean. I don't think this is a good one either. I think we're about to lose more frigates, maybe. War in the Caribbean. Remove 1 white band unit permanently from the game. If there are no white band units remaining, it's a no event. So 1 white band unit gets removed from the game permanently. Do we have any white band units left? Well, I see one in Virginia. I think that's the last one we have. Looks like, this is even more painful because this is such a strong unit. So this white band unit is going to be removed from the game. That's the only one I have left. So he comes out and comes up to the pile of units stacked up in here. All right, well, that's where he went. So what else? Well, that hurts. Continental's Mutiny. I think we've had this before to no effect. And let's see. We roll a die to determine a state. Basically, we're going to pick a state at random, then roll 2. Well, all right, let's figure out which state we're talking about here. Not only, I think it's only, well, it could be one of 3 states actually. So let's see, 4 states. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's just roll and see what we get. So 1, 2, 3, or 4. Well, let's roll again. Roll again. I am really rolling high numbers. Okay, 1. So it's going to take place in New England. Okay, so what does it say here? Roll 2 dice for each continental army in that state. We're going to add +2 for, well, let's go look at the state first of all. Oops. So we know there's 2 there. There's no British units. So it says add 2 for each British player. No, add +5 if George Washington's there. He's not. 3 if Jefferson's there. He's not. Okay, so it looks like, and that's for the modifier. So it looks like, it looks like there's no modifications for these continentals then. It's going to be a roll of what? If the modified roll is lower than the loyalty rating of that state, the unit will mutiny and be placed into the rebel force pool. So, and then raise that state's loyalty by +2 for each one that mutinies. So basically they're going to roll against, since there's no modifiers here, they're going to roll against the loyalty of New England, which I think is 0, which I don't think it is. So it's a non-event. They can't roll less than 0. Yeah, so that's a non-event. I think that one's been a non-event for us every single time we've got it. So, loyalty oath. Well, let's see what we got here. Loyalty oath. Local British commanders demand that harmless, fence-sitting neutrals openly swear loyalty to the king. The effect is to drive thousands of, we've had this before, thousands of uninvolved Americans into the arms of their rebel neighbors. The British player must choose one state and reduce its loyalty by -5. And I don't even think we have anybody we can do this in. Maybe Virginia. That's going to be painful if it's Virginia. British player must choose one state. Player's choice, reduce it by 5. Well, it's the only one we can do. So, Virginia goes from being 7 down to 2. That is painful. That's going to hurt. All right. Yeah, so that's all we can do there. Ooh. And then that's it. As if that's not enough. But that's it for the random events phase. That's going to be the end of the turn. That is going to do it. So, if I sound dejected, it's probably because I am. Wow. What has happened? Well, so the rebels successfully launched several major campaigns through New England into New York and Pennsylvania, and now they've launched one into Carolina. All successful. They've taken us out of everywhere except Virginia, which we hold, and we have some units in Pennsylvania. So we've got our work cut out for us in turn 13. Again, it's almost where we're going to have to just completely write off Carolina now. I don't know. This is not good. So if the Liberty Bell goes up 1, 2, 3 more times, it's going to end the game. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 turns left. It's possible we could hold on to turn 14 and have Lord North resign. We will see. There you go. Yeah, I don't. It's not looking good now. It's not looking good at all. But hopefully you will come back to watch turn 13. Hopefully it's lucky turn 13. We will see. So as always, thanks for watching this, and I hope to see you back. We will see you next time.